Like cockroaches, grown men crawl out of the sewers in GTA to let their penises do the talking when a 15-year-old girl is vulnerable and alone. Hello ladies and gentlemen, hello fellow Xbox Live moderators, my name is SecondMurLove and this is To Catch a Predator on Xbox Live. As per the usual, our online investigations start with LilyGirl2U playing GTA Online. LilyGirl2U, being a low level on GTA, not only attracts predators but also attracts griefers.
Why would you grief a level 9? I have nothing to offer. I don't even have money. I don't even have a house in this game. Why would you grief a level? What the hell is your problem?
GTA is a very dangerous place when someone feels insecure about their poor skill in the game, forcing them to grief other low-level players.
Jesus Christ, dude, these people. Oh! That was a beautiful shot right there. That was a beautiful shot. You saw that? That was a beautiful shot. A griefing douchebag got owned by a level 9.
And with all the griefers killed and hours put into the game, LilyGirl2U finally came across a predator in a small random lobby at 2 in the morning. Meet Brandon. He goes by the gamertag DeathWheelX9. He is a 19-year-old male that apparently is from Brazil and is currently a student at the University of Applied Science and Technology at Sierra Vista, Arizona. We met him in GTA after LilyGirl2U messaged him in the game.
What the fuck? This fucking guy.
Completely unknown to Brandon, that is not a 15-year-old girl, that is a 19-year-old actress that looks 15. Behind that account was me, posing as a minor, but of course he had his suspicions. Knowing that things could go wrong if he demands proof that I'm a 15-year-old girl, I assure him that I will send him pictures once my parents go to sleep. But I was only saying that to stall him and to get him to give me more evidence to expose him. Honestly, it was a bit difficult for him and I to communicate back and forth because of the language barrier. I do not speak Portuguese, nor do I know a lot of phrases, but his English was rather good, so I was able to comprehend his broken English. After more talking, I started asking him more direct questions like if he had a mic. He did not have a mic, so I told him to download the Xbox app on his phone and we could talk, and most importantly I could confront him directly. But Brandon was not in the mood, so in the meantime we focused on texts. Some of the highlights from the texts are, he asked me how old I was, I told him 15, he told me he was 19, and I asked him if 15 is okay, and he told me that 15 is okay, acknowledging that I am indeed 15. Well, not really, but LilyGirl2U is 15. He went on to tell me he likes girls because he's not gay. Then we start to chat a little bit more about our personal lives, just to get to know each other a little bit more, just to get him to relax a little bit, just so he can open up a little bit more. And eventually, after some talking, the text messages start to get a little weirder, with him asking what color panties I was wearing. And he said something really funny. He told me he will give me sex, but instead of spelling it normally, he spells it with S-E-K-S, because S-E-X would not be able to go through the filter in GTA Online, so he spelled it that way, and I actually didn't know what he meant, so, he told me sex, but I can't spell it. Gotcha. Sex. Understood. And he had a really weird fetish, and this was also over Xbox messages, but in the text he said, I will drink smoothie between your legs. I don't know if that's a thing or not. If it is, then I've been missing out all of my life because I never even thought of something like that. I don't even know why people... What do people do in the bedroom? Am I missing something? And he said other things like, I will kiss you. And he told me he wants a picture of me, but I have a profile picture, so... But that is not what he meant. He wanted to see my butt. Well, LilyGirl2U's butt. Because he is a predator. He is 19, and he likes 15-year-old butts. I don't know. And eventually we move this party on over to Xbox messages. I will not be saying all the messages, but only highlight a few. I tell him to download the Xbox app so we could talk over an Xbox Live party. He tells me he doesn't know how. Yeah, a 19-year-old that is in college for scientific technologies doesn't know how to download an app on his phone. Yeah, okay. Just some things to highlight on. He asked me if he could see my butt, and I said sure, but you have to turn me on first. He tells me stuff like, ooh, I will kiss you when we're alone, and he will give me sex. And then back to the smoothie part, because I don't know what people do in the bedroom, because apparently I'm missing something. Then he says other standard sexy stuff that you don't really tell a minor, such as I will kiss your lips and do sexy things, marvelous things, and put my hands on your boobs. Do you really talk to a 15-year-old that way? Really? Then he says things like I will bounce you, or should I say I will blank you. I really don't know what he meant by bounce. And then he said, I will bounce you up and down. On top of me. It marvelous. Death Wheel X9, ladies and gentlemen. Time to confront this nasty gentleman. But instead of confronting him on this gamertag, I signed into my main account and started a new conversation with him. Just to make him feel a little more relaxed. And here's how it went. Hello, how are you doing tonight? I have a few questions for you. And he wasn't responding, so I said, how old are you? And he said, hi. So I said, hi, how old are you, Brandon? And I guess he was surprised I knew his name prior to the conversation, so he asked me who I was. I told him I'll get to that in a moment. So I verified that he was 19, and I asked him correct, and he said okay. So I asked him how old Lily was, and he said he was confused, so I asked him, how old is Lily? And he said, I don't know. And I didn't really want to waste any time, so I went ahead and asked him, I think you do, Brandon. You were inappropriate towards a minor. Did you know that it's against the law and the Xbox Live terms and conditions? And well, he assumed I was the police, or thought, because he asked me if I was the police. Lucky for him, I'm not the police, so I asked him to explain himself, and he was like, then who? And then I told him I'll get to that in a moment. Right now, explain yourself. And he told me he doesn't know, so I asked him to elaborate. Then he said he likes girls. I don't know. So I reminded him that he's an adult. He can't find a girl his age, and he told me he can. Well, he said yes, so I'm assuming he meant he can. So I asked him why does he target a minor? And then he said something a lot of predators would say, saying that, she talked to me first, because when I'm on my Lily Girl to You profile, I usually initiate the conversation. And then he said he doesn't know. And then I told him, but that doesn't make it right. And then I assured him I was really thankful that, he took time out of his day to talk to me, because it helps explain both sides. And then I told him, to tell me why he thought it was appropriate to act like this towards a minor. Then he said he doesn't know. Then he asked me who I was, so I was like, alright, well, there's no point of, asking him if he doesn't know, or that's his excuse. So I told him my name is Zach, I'm in love with YouTube, and we're doing a story about adults who solicit sex to minors over Xbox. And if there's anything he'd like to say, I would love to hear it, then add it to the story, and he said no. And then he asked me, is this on YouTube? And then I said, we don't know yet, we're just doing a story. And then he said, I can't put him on YouTube, and I told him I don't necessarily need his permission to post his gamertag on YouTube. Then he said no, I don't know why. And then I asked him if he has anything else to say, and then I told him if this goes on YouTube, is there anything he would want us to know, like as in the viewers? And he said why. So I told him, Brandon, you were caught being inappropriate towards a minor, you have nothing to say? And he told me where I was, and then where I lived. And then I was like, well, alright, this guy doesn't even understand what I'm saying, so I'm just gonna say, hey, have a good day, Brandon. And then he really wanted to know where I was, and then he said, it okay, I won't do it again. So I said, thank you, because, he told me he won't do it again, so might as well say thank you, but nothing changes here. And then he told me not to put him on YouTube, and that's not up to me. You might not end up on YouTube anyway. Then he said, don't put me on YouTube. And then I told him it's not up to me, and have a good day. And he said some rather explicit stuff. You guys are probably thinking that he's extremely remorseful for his actions, and you probably feel bad for him, right? Well, you read the title. We don't call him the racist predator for nothing. He is a racist, and it's hilarious. I mean, it's wrong, but hilarious. I insist that action will be taken that he might be on YouTube. I never tell a predator if he'll definitely be on YouTube, because that can influence what he says and could cause them to lie and manipulate the situations, making the audience feel like he's the victim. Unfortunately, Brandon did not like what I had to say, so he became very racist. I mean, very racist, so viewer discretion is advised. And if you guys want to report him for sexual harassment, feel free to report him for racism and or hate speech as well. Anywho, Brandon said, yep, he went from apologetic douchebag to a racist douchebag. After this encounter and our conversation, we reported Brandon for sexual harassment, soliciting sex to a minor, and hate speech. The chat log of GTA and Xbox messages were sent to Xbox Live enforcement as well. And to add a little flavor to this episode of To Catch a Predator on Xbox Live, we report him, and he's probably banned for saying the N-word for up to a week maybe? I don't know. Well, he never responded, so might as well report him. And to see how long he gets banned. I actually wonder how long you'll get banned if I report all these. So definitely hate speech, submit, and we're gonna report this other one, stupid N-word, and then hate speech again. And it looks like the other one was deleted. Yep, and this one will probably be deleted. And then hate speech once again, because that is just messed up. And I don't know what was going through this gentleman's head, because that is not right. So I hope you're banned, DeathWheelX9, for like... Well, I hope you're perma-banned for that. So this guy thought he's gonna be soliciting sex to a minor and get away after calling me the N-word, and then he gets banned for it. I imagine if people send him messages, he's not gonna be able to respond, so that's the beauty of this. I must be honest here and say he's not the most graphic predator we caught, but he surely had a foul mouth. I personally believe he wasn't as apologetic as he expressed. He perhaps wanted to come off as that to maybe convince the viewers that he was truly sorry, or maybe a slap on the hand. Maybe he didn't think much of the situation since the age of consent in Brazil is 14 years. But this gentleman lives in the United States, specifically Arizona. The age of consent in Arizona is 18 years. Lily was 15. That is a huge difference. Just because you're from a different part of the world doesn't mean those laws apply to you when you're thousands of miles away. So FBI, if you're watching this, I don't know. Anyway, that is pretty much it for me today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I am out. Goodbye.